Hello friends, I'm Colonel Failure and you're watching Transport Fever 2 on the Peninsula. We're on our third island and we've set up a bunch of quarrying behaviour, because quarrying behaviour is what you like. And we've put the associated towns along with those so that we've got a little bit of passenger action still to do. Now, the one thing we haven't done, we haven't decorated this at all. It is still au naturel, and that simply won't do. We're going to have to pull it all together, get the paint box out, and slap around some colours to make things look a little bit more dramatic, before then running our passenger line from Castle Rock through Silent Hill, ending up in Waterdeep. I might get around to adding a few ships in there as well, maybe another tasteful bridge or two. You know, the kind of behaviour to expect. We've done it all before, we're going to do it all again, but it's going to be a seamless blend of your real-time action and a little bit of rapido building going on this time around, because we like to keep it zesty. If you are feeling zesty, why not stick around at Zest? First off, we're going to be playing with the old texture tool here. Now, the trick to getting a good texture is don't just use one. No, you want to use multiple different textures, and you don't want to lay it on too thick. As you can see from this first gravelly texture we've got going on here, I've left the grass peeking through. I've then taken to a more rocky texture to do a little bit of highlighting here and there, but mostly to get the bottom edge of the cliffs in order to tie the cliff edge into the ground itself. Then we go back in the other direction again with a bit of mud. Yeah. Let's get some mud in here. This is mostly to make it look like it's actually being used, because you don't want it to look too clean. Even though we're spraying messy stuff all over the place. Oh, I see. I'm up to ballast now. Yeah, no. You see, don't make your brush too big. My ballast maneuver, where you make the brush ever so slightly bigger than the railway, and then brush it along the rail track itself. It looks pretty effective, but you got to go easy, otherwise you end up spray painting your mountains the wrong colour, and it just looks wrong. Yeah, and then finally we're back to another darker, muddy kind of an idea here, where what you want to do is you want to break up any big bits that look like they've got the same material going on all over the place, because that way it looks natural, you see, rather than it just looking like you've taken your paint bucket and sloshed it around. With that done, we're going back again in the opposite direction again. I've gone to and fro, and we're smoothing out the landscape. Now is the time to get rid of all those geometric edges that only games can create, to try and turn it into something that looks a little bit more like, you know what, this might actually have been a little bit windswept and a little bit beaten down by the weather, rather than something mathematical has figured this out. Slight adjustments to the landscape can make all the difference. A bit too much smoothing and you lose the character of what it is that you're building. So you want the right kind of balance in between smoothing and then roughening it back up again in order to create something good. Now, when you've placed an industry in, frequently you'll leave a massive big gouge out of the rock face, and it will take you a while to actually find the edge of that, as it has done for me here. Yeah, it was a delight, this. Oh yeah, brilliant. Second job of the day is to do something dramatic with this container port area that we've got going on. Now, it's got a nice approach under the bridge, and I found that this pre-built port actually fit in pretty well. You've got a little bit of landscape clipping through that, and we'll try and fix that out. Now, I had a momentary obsession with this big gantry crane, because I thought, firstly, it's ruddy enormous, and therefore you're gonna be able to see it for miles, as I just had a look at it. But I went, it doesn't work for me. Now, we do like container cranes anyway. With the port actually isn't on this side of the I don't know, what would you call that, watery bit. Scientific. So the cranes, I've stuck them on the wrong side of the watery bit, just to sell the idea that this is a major port rather than a minor one. Now, what I've done in the past is I've tried to take the edge of the dock side and blend that into the landscape, but this time I'm just leaving it hanging because I'm lazy. basically. There's no real upper limit to how much time you can spend doing this stuff. Yeah, banging a couple of boats, make it look like it's the real deal. And then you kind of look at the cranes and go, you know what, those cranes are a bit too big for those ships. And you kind of go, whatever, I'm over it. Yeah, so a little bit of experimentation with this extra kind of port side wall, seawall business. That's all good. Now, I've stuck tyres on the seawall there, because you do that to stop your ship banging into it. No one's ever going to see it. I know they're there, and that's lovely, and it's extra detail, which is, that's special. But ultimately, it's just using up extra processing capability that no one's going to be aware of. Anyway, here's a bit of extra train track. That's exciting, isn't it? What am I going to do with it? Well, you can tell what I'm going to do with it. Look at it. Look at what it's doing. And we already know what the train is that comes down here. It just comes to pick up some stuff off the ships and take it to the main line. It's not doing anything dramatic. No, I've got bung a bunch of empty wagons in here. You know why? Because it looks flipping great. Now, I've paused the game while the train's actually in there so I can get a measure of where does it stop. Now, that brown line you can see there, brilliant. Brilliant, isn't it? Yeah, that brown line, that's a bit of the port that I placed down. So I'm going to just try and mask that using buffers. Doesn't really work. No, that's okay. I'm not going to pretend for a second that it worked. But again, once you're viewing this in action, you're barely going to notice it's in there. You might think, oh, maybe that's a bit of shadow or something. No one's ever going to notice. I don't even know why I'm telling you. It's not like you'd have noticed unless I've called it out. Well, I've called it out now, so it's rather too late for me to take it back. I mean, I could record this again, I suppose, but no, I'm not going to. So, banging a bit of extra scenery. That's the important bit. You can't rely on the AI to build stuff up where you want it in order to make it look busy. And what you don't want is something that looks like it's got, thousands of people potentially working there. And then you go like, yeah, but there's absolutely no one there, is there? Now, placing little people would be good. But no, again, it's unnecessary. All I'm doing now is just drop in a bit of scenery to sell that this is, actually active, and to take those vanilla assets, because I've got a vanilla port side there. That's that's the standard dock building. Just bung in some extra stuff, and all of a sudden it starts to look a little bit different. That's particularly important when you're doing stuff with where you've got multiple of the same thing. So if you're using several quarries in close proximity, as I have done, then adding a little bit of different scenery to each one can spruce that up dramatically. Now, this bit of car parking asset road type business, love it. I'm going to sling a bunch of trucks in there, but I'm not so keen on the rounded end of it, so I'll place some kind of business type, building type, something or other, I'm not sure what, at the end of it. But hey, looks authentic now, doesn't it? Yeah, I'll place some authentic at the end of it. Yeah, because that's what you want. You want a bit of authentic hanging around in there. Hook the whole thing up together. Lovely. Yeah, that's going to be good. I go, you know what will go in there? What's that? Roundabout? Yeah, absolutely. Slinging a roundabout up here. It's not like I'm going to use it that much, but it just ties the roads together a little bit better. Sometimes you can do kind of a multi-pronged junction, and it ends up looking a bit, just a little bit. Yeah. What's it? Now, here's mistake of the day. It's a good one, this one. So I'm fiddling with this to try and get a truck stop in here, completely forgetting, of course, that train station you've got going on there is doing what I'm about to try and do with this truck stop. Do I cancel the truck stop idea? No, I'm going to run it anyway. I'm largely just going to cannibalise all of the money that might have been made by my little rail setup. Foolish, but it looks nice. But foolish. Yeah, most definitely. Now, the other thing that you find when you're going back and doing decorating is you kind of go like, hold on, look at this. This is building a road in pretty much a straight line. I could put a whacking great road in there and kind of encourage the AI to build in a slightly more, I don't know, orderly fashion, I suppose. Something like that. It tends to work out pretty well, to be honest. If you let the computer have a go, and then you kind of go, yeah, I see what you were thinking, but you've done it wrong. let me have a swing at it, and we'll see if it can't come out a little bit better. So here we go, wagons going in. Now I haven't even bothered with this particular set of track to link them up together at all. It didn't prove to be necessary. I've got them all going into the tunnel and only one emerges out the other end. No one will ever know. It's just a little bit of smoke and mirrors to make it all look more glamorous. Why bother linking them up if you're not going to actually run anything down it? That's what I say. Well, that's what I'm saying right now. I might say something different a bit later, but right now, that's what I'm saying. So there we go, bit of port action. What's it missing? Oh yeah, trucks. Yeah, bang some trucks in. Now, if you're filling out a car park, two secret weapons for you. Firstly, don't have them all facing the same direction. You want to swing some round so that they're facing the other way. Come on, there you go. That's it. Secondly, you want the appearance of, unless you're building like, the DHL headquarters or something like that, you do want to make it look like it's just a bunch of randos kicking around in there. Otherwise, it looks like you've got a car brush and you're just painting it all over the place. The other thing to do, slightly vary the angle. They're not all going to park at perfect angles, so vary the angle a little bit, and it'll pop for you. Trust me, I've popped many things. This being just one of them. A bit of German motorway signage going on there. Now, because it's in German, firstly, I could probably work out what it said. But secondly, it's from such a great distance is a running theme. No one's going to notice. It's just going to look like an overhead sign. And that's groovy. And on to our last bit of decorating for now. And we're going to take Castle Rock and try and make it look a little bit more natural. Now, I've got a couple of troublemakers on the cliffside here who despite my best efforts, continually rebuild, making a bit of jack there. See, look, there they are again. Yeah, I'll put a bit of fence in. That'll stop them. Didn't stop them. No, they keep rebuilding. I keep bulldozing. They don't get the message. Look at them. Just stop it. Now, there is a secret method to preventing that from happening, and I have deployed it just now. Sorry, I'll walk you through what that was in a moment. But no, because for two reasons. Firstly, looks just a smidge precarious having a building right on the edge of the cliff like that. But secondly, it creates a bunch of geometric rubbish going down the side. Look at that, I've flipping done it again. I'm going to set fire to him with my bulldozer. Bulldozers set fire to things, apparently. No, he's back again. Look, there it is. Extreme prejudice. I tried putting in a little car, because that's got no collision turned on. Didn't help. So I took it back out again. But the whole point of this is to basically prep it for when I start putting in passenger stuff, and then we'll have a town we can actually work with. So a little bit more footling around and we'll be done. Alright, well, barely scratched the surface, frankly. We've made a reasonable amount of progress on tarting the place up a little bit, but there's still a lot more to do, and I'll probably continue tinkering in my own time. We'll have a quick look around in the moment, but there was a ship arriving, so I thought we'd sit, and now there's a train going across. Hey? Oh, that's nice. That's what you like to see. Yeah, so I think it's come out pretty well so far. But this is that. I mean, this was more a demonstration of this is how I go about doing it. Oh, I found one of these. Yeah, this is how I go about doing it, rather than anything more robust than that. Maybe anything more than just a here's how I do it. I mean, I bodge it in and go for something that looks good. Where possible, I try to think actually what would be practical. How might people actually go about using this? Excuse me. Hang on. There we go. Now, as we move further along, I've ballasted up along the track here as we head along, and I've done a little bit more to the quarries. This road that I built down that I didn't know where it goes. Turns out the AI had an idea or two, and it's ended up looking pretty good. They've built effectively like a strip mall. Going across the side of the quarry, and that, I'll tell you something else, that looks good too. Yeah, no, there's lots of merit here. I've stuck in the traditional, bunch of sidings and this and that in order to make things look a little bit more used. I even put in another depot just because the buildings seemed to fit the environment. Not this one. That one was the one that was there already. You knew about that one. I've flattened out a bit more ground so that these stubborn peasants would actually go, oh, you know what? There's somewhere better to go and live. The only way to do it that I've come across is to bulldoze the building. Now, you wouldn't do it like I do it, where you leave the game running. But I thought, a bit of comic effect there. No, bulldoze the building and then sink the ground, because that way they can't figure out a way of actually placing there. Theoretically, locking these streets should stop the AI building, but I suspect what it actually does is it stops the AI building junctions and roads off and so forth. We'll have a cheeky peekaboo here. Yeah, great. So, I found a big dig, the big dump truck. I've stuck that in a couple of places, added a couple of buildings, bit more track and some sidings kicking around. The one thing that's missing is a bit of a road connection so that workers could get out there. And of course, if you were to take that approach, you could then have, you could put in just dumb truck routes, so they don't serve any purpose. Just tootling back and forth to make the place more animated. Don't underestimate the value to be had in having routes that don't really do anything, just pottering around. The mines themselves, like quarries, I should say, they're not up to full strength yet. They've still got some way to go. But as I build up demand, we'll get a little bit more throughput there, and then hopefully the whole thing will be a little bit more profitable. And yeah, I'm not happy with that. Hold on a moment. Yeah. No, that's not good. That's not attractive. We need to remedy that one quite quickly. I think 60 will probably be sufficient. Skirt that around the side to about there. You can see where I've ballasted, but the trick to using the texture gun is use multiple textures. Don't just sit in one, because otherwise it looks a little bit thinner layers of different textures from a distance will make it look far superior. And then you don't want to leave it Spartan like this either. You want to add some more stuff over the top. As you can see, I've taken a slightly different path. Some of the ballast is off kilter. But that's okay too. And then, think about safety. Stick a fence along the side of things. I do that on a regular enough basis. What's happened here? Maybe that's just a momentary glitch. You know what it isn't? What's that? It's not a momentary glitch. It's created a big weird line. There we go. That'll show you. Yeah, I'm in charge here, not you. Right, okay, so, it ends up, it looks pretty good. As I said, plenty more could be done. You want to think about town layouts, particularly in the hills. As long as you're not overzealous about it, you can take your time, bulldoze everything, but let it rebuild, then bulldoze a bit more and let that rebuild. This street itself isn't too bad, but it could be better. Actually, I quite like that. It's just this section here would benefit from being smoothed out a little bit, but that's no big deal. Anyway, we've got a passenger line to build. Now I am going to make this single track, but the goal is going to have to be make it look relatively glamorous. I don't know how I'm going to pull that off, but we'll give it a go. We'll go for 140 on the track speed. So with this first one, am I electrified? I am. With this first one, well, we're running around the mountainside, tempted to have it run around the inside of this canyon, chasm, mine, quarry bit effort here. But then, of course, it's not going to follow the line we've got there. It ends up going over here. Okay, so if I were to come back this way, like that, we could potentially run it at just a higher altitude than the freight line you've got there, which might lead to some quite pleasant views. Now, my intention is to run this as a single track effort, but I might run it single track with a passing space at this mid station point. So I end up running two trains. Yeah, it might work. All right, now if we come out over here, in fact, let's set this on the level. What do we end up with? well, you're going to have to disappear into the mountain. I think that's pretty much a given. But we don't want to just doing the whole thing underground. You know, where are the views? Where's the drama? I'll tell you where it is. Nowhere. And you know what else? What? I don't know this tunnel. Do you not? Not for this route. I like it for a lot of routes, but that feels like it's very much a modern, swanky pants, high speedy kind of a tunnel, and that's not what we're building here. We're building something that theoretically is a little bit older. Okay, backstory, friends. Give yourself some backstory while you're building stuff. Why did this get built in the first place? So, well, I think we'll go with the standard brick edifice. I think it suits the environment rather well. Okay, yep, carry on. Yeah, so we'll go with double track through this bit of tunnel, and then out the other side when I've got a flat bit that isn't. Hold on, that hasn't connected. When I've got a flat bit that doesn't have any bridge going on, that's where we'll stick. Where we'll stick the kind of connection idea. There, the split off, the points, the separation between one and the other. So about here, we'll merge them back into being one line. Carry on round the corner, like that. Yeah, see, it's gonna look all right. And then if we wind our way around here, we're going to have to keep a fair amount of height. All right, he said, making it taller. Just purely because where we're going to is quite a bit higher up than the quarry lines that we've got going on. So we do have a quarry that branches upward, and we're going to need to kind of follow the route that takes in order to make this work. Okay, good. Yeah, you see, where you are now, you are that close to the freight line that in reality you probably would merge the two, but stuff it. Ah, good. There you go. That's the reality speaking there. Right, that's got brown. Tempted to go brown again. You would imagine it would be built by the same people. But do we have to? Well, no, you can do whatever you like. It's a game. Oh, yeah. I like this brick. Well, use it then. I have done. There we are. Okay, bit of brick. I didn't even check to see if it was the same speed. I imagine it's similar. But, you know, at the end of the day, who cares as long as it looks good. Right, get this across here. Now, this is going to need... You know what that wants? Are you going to try and use the Shanghai commuter bridge there? Where are we headed? All right. Always worth doing a bit of resurveying. So we're going to carry on going up this way. And now it makes a bit more sense that they're not merged. And then we'll carve through there. I'll probably have to do a bit of landscaping along the way as well. Right. Now, I can't remember where I left it, you know. It's definitely in here. You've seen it. I'm not intending to spend the entire day poking at bridges again. We've done it before. It was an awful lot of fun. We had a great time together. But I think, frankly, we've done that now. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, and indeed no. Okay, what about that? That works, but it just feels too modern for what we're building. That feels a little bit better. Now, because it's quite a high up bridge. Yeah, no. Why is that? Yes, that's not giving me anything at all. No, it's not. Okay, keep going down. It's in here. There is. There we go. Is some Shanghai passenger edifice conveyance type structure type deal. No, you know. Oh, I like that. Yeah, what, an undergirder? Yeah, I mean, I don't think I've used it before either. So yeah, we'll go with that. Yeah, that'll do. Right, was there another bridge over here? No, that's where you built some brick. Oh, I see, so now we've just got random different bits of bridge going on. That's against the rules. Yeah, but the rules are there to be broken, so I really wouldn't worry about it. Plus, it doesn't really matter. It's all about, you know, what do you feel like when the moment comes? Well, yeah, true. There you go. Keep skirting our way up here. Now, while you're doing your first stage, you don't want to worry too much about flattening out cliff sides and so on. The better time to do that. This could be exciting. Oh, this could be very exciting, actually. Hold on, I've got an idea. Right, if we get across as far as there, yeah. Are we high enough up yet? A little bit further. You're on the right track, figuratively and literally. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, it gives you an excuse to ride alongside your train and then build something wondrous to go along with it. Don't do another type of bridge. You know, we have our limits. We're doing this undergirder business. Okay. It would have been nice if I remembered where that was, though, wouldn't it? Yeah, it probably would. What about this underspan? That's not an underspan. It's not doing anything. Okay, nor's that. Yeah, no. Yeah, no. Come on, it's here somewhere. There we are. There you go, that's the one. Stick with that. Okay, all right. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah. Ride alongside the train and smooth as you go. Because that way you get a minute or two to soak up the fruits of your labour. It makes it worthwhile. You know, this is going to be quite an attractive little passenger route, this one. Now the train itself, I'm going to need to have a capacity in the 100 to 120 kind of range, I would have thought. Yeah, why do you say that? Well, because it's not going to be running very often, and we have got 3 stops on this route. Right, now, go from here. Yeah, I've no idea what I'm going to run on it. And say hello. All right, okay, what have we ended up with there? Well, that's connected up fine. All right, yeah. We've got ourselves a little bit of mountainside action. You know what? For a first go, that's come out pretty well. We just want to make sure we haven't... You're looking for geometry, right? So when you've got these triangles sticking out here, you kind of go, oh, I don't want that. Because that's very obviously game. What we try to do is avoid it looking game. Even if that means, yes, you have to suck up the occasional triangle coming out of the side of things, but it's doing it in a slightly different way as you move along your route. So you've got some variation going on. It's when it's doing the same thing at every single one, you just kind of go like, there is no disbelief being suspended here. I tell you that for nothing. Also, what? Missing a bridge? Yeah, that's all right. We can just knock this bit out and build it back in and add a bridge to it. Yep. Okay. Right. Let's try and stick with this undergirder business. It's all the way down here somewhere. It's that one. Is it? Yeah, look at it. Oh, yeah. All right, good. All right, so that's the first part done. Now, because we're using passing tracks, signalling relatively centralised. We can keep it all at the middle section of track. Yep. Yeah, I am doing. Yeah. No, it's not allowed. What engineer in their right mind would go, you know what we need here? More same bridge stuff. You know, we get a discount if we buy it in bulk. No, what I was thinking is we build an oldie-timey stonework bridge. Well, okay, you can think that, but frankly, that's just going to ruin our profitability, having to build out of multiple different materials. Yeah, but it'll look nice. Never mind, it will look nice. It's a bad idea. So shut up and just build it properly. You want to build something? You want to build something like that? Go and play a video game. This is the real world, son. We don't work like that here. Right. Now, where's my incline starting? I think it's pretty much immediately after this corner we start building the incline there. I'm going to chance it because I'm in that kind of mood to try and get around the side there, but I don't think it's going to. That's not going to comply until you go a little bit further afield. Let's try a dab of this. Well, you're doing the dab of this, but it's not coming out well, is it? No, this junction's not happy. Trying to make a junction off the outside of the corner is always a little bit easier. No, that's all right. That's good. There's just going to be a slow bit. Well, yes, that's for sure. That's fine. Look at it. Look, it looks good. How's the junction? The junction's fine because what you're not doing is you're not setting points over one another. You're not crossing bits of track, which will make it look weird. Yes, the catenary ends up looking bad, but frankly, until you can hand lay catenary, you're going to be stuck with what you get. And what you get is often not great. But we won't complain too loudly. You just don't look at it too hard. Right, come on, keep going. What are you colliding with? You shouldn't be colliding with anything. There's a perfectly good piece of track there. Right, where are you? Yeah, I know. We've got this weird bit of road, but it's going to meet your friend of mine, Mr. Bulldozer, any moment soon. You're gonna have to back it up a bit more. There you go. All right, carry on. Yeah. Is that? It doesn't look like it's snapped. Let's say it is. Oh, hold on. No, you know why? Is it because it's not snapped? Because you've already built double track at a certain amount of the distance here? Yeah, well, that's certainly plausible. I'd say it's more than plausible, son. Right, okay, we've got that in. So we've got Station 1, Station 2 connected up. What we don't yet have, though, is a means for this to connect to the depot. Ideally, I don't want to connect another depot up to this. Not because I'm opposed to depots. I mean, you've seen me build a few of them. You know, clearly I'm fine with the concept of a depot. But I see. I think this is lending itself to something a bit more majestic. We'll zoom back in. It's because I've got a tiny little scroll bar here, see, and I've got to try and I'm making excuses. What about that? How about a big fat no? Well, this? No. That one? Not at all. Or this? No. That's nice, though. It is nice, but it's not what we're looking for. We're looking for that really flipping flamboyant Chinese bridge. Yeah. That is what we want. Don't you think that's a little bit too moderny, given the oldie worldy nature of everything else you're building? Yeah, well, you see how I just built it? I do see how you just built it. Guess what my answer is? I like it and I'm having it. I'm liking it and I'm having it. It's very, very white indeed, but frankly, I think it goes along with the motif that we're gradually building up here of a kind of a modern industrial city. Now, the city in question is only a little city, a town, one might say. So it's it's not going to. What are you talking about? It's too much slope business. Oh dearie me, boy, did you decide to try and live in the wrong place? There you go. Whack this across here. What are you colliding with there? Don't know. Don't really care. Okay, and then we'll go back to the undergirder. Guys, this is very nice. Now, the reason I'm getting so much great opportunity to build, bit of tunnel here and there and very short bits of bridge span and that kind of behaviour, is because the map is terrible. It's not. It's a very lovely map with lots of challenge to it, but it is terrible in the sense of the way that it's rendered out. The height map's rendered out. It came out really badly, but the game interpreted that. It went, oh no, actually, I think you're onto something here. Now, if I want to stay flat, because obviously we are going to try and split this into two again. Oh, you don't need to worry about it. Okay. What about this lack of bridge you've got going on here? Come back for it in a moment. Let's get this connection done, and then we'll figure out exactly what the scheme is. All right, okay. It is worth pointing out that this second section here is at a very, very... It's far shorter from here to there than it is from there to there. Well, shorter as it may be, it is doing it, though. What are you even talking about? I don't know. I sometimes even baffle myself. Right, carry on. Remember to put that bit of bridge back in or you'll be sad. Okay, it could collide there, No, it's not doing it. There you go. And all the way. Woohoo! Okay, right. Okay, undergirder for you, son. And we'll be about set. Go on, then. Do it. That's it. And the same over here. It's a long way down. I'd make these menus so that they remembered what you chose last and stuck that up the top. But, maybe that's just me. All right, okay, that's come out quite nicely. I think I need my... Where am I going to put my passing track? Yes, I think we're going to terraform this a little bit more. And we'll do it just after the bridge. Alright, okay. Right, and while we're about it, we'll put in this other bit of bridge that we need. Yeah. Okay, alright. Yeah, a bridging we will go. Bridge too far. No, it's not too far. It's about the right distance, mate. No. Too far is when you end up with something and you're just going to go, no, that looks poor. But instead, what we end up with is things that look grand. Perhaps occasionally a little over-engineered, but there's no such thing. So that's all fine. Right. Okay. There you go. Single track. Single track's jolly. You know. I'm all about that. Right. Okay. We need to terraform this back a smidge. The flattened gun really is ubiquitous for this kind of behaviour, because it gives you, plenty of opportunity to make a lot of mess, and then once you've built your stuff, you go back in and tidy it all back up again and make it look like you haven't just carved it all apart. So if we now hop back into this, there you go. Now when you smooth it out, you kind of go, oh, but you've kind of lost the character of your mountains. So keep your brush strength up. All right, and then just drop the size of it down, and you could do a bit of delicate ridging action. Yeah, see, look, delicate ridging action. Oh, isn't it delicate? Yeah, isn't it ridgy? I suppose it is. Yes. Okay, yeah, that's come out all right. And then you into there. Right, let's bung some signals on. I'm going to need a grand total of between 2 and 4. By which I mean it will either be 2 or it will be 4. You won't need any more than that. Right, one way on this side. Is it? Yeah, it probably is. Okay. All right, and then... we'll rock through here and we'll stick another one just before the point's up at this end. Okay, and then actually two's going to do it, because if the trains are that close together, then it's not going to be working anyway. 2 trains. You could go with 3. I could go with 3. I'm going to go with 2 and see how they like it, and later on I might expand that to include a 3rd. Right, now then. My depot is up here. Yeah. So it can come down this the freight line, no trouble. No problem at all. However, trying to get that to go anywhere else is going to be tricky. How about just build a cheap and nasty depot right now and make it work? Okay, all right. 1 times cheap, nasty depot coming up. All right. Look away now. It won't be with us for long. All right. This is a needs must kind of a moment, because I'm never going to use it again, and I'm not doing anything that can be construed as realism in this series. We're aiming for the appearance of newish, realish, but ultimately it's not that much. Right. Okay, we go from Castle Rock. We then swerve dramatically through the Silent Hill Annex, which is going to get renamed, and then we head down to Waterdeep before hitting Silent Hill again. There we go. Yeah. No, that's it. That's all there is to it. So, I don't know. I'm going to call this the Stone Line, because I think people would. I would. And I'm people, so I think that's perfectly valid. Right, what are we running? Well, now that you ask. Electric, yeah. Passenger. These are all passenger cars. Yeah, well spotted. You're amazing. Now, a multiple unit will serve us best, because it is just a back and forth. Let's try and find something we haven't used so far. Yes, we could use the Shinkansen, but it's too long. And we're only running little shorty type deals, so it's the ice is no use to us here either. The Coming actually would be, and I'd use it had I not done so already. What about the Russian class electronics dance 9 music? What are you talking about? 88 passengers? Yes. I don't mind that, you know. I should probably add a few more mods. Nope, we're going with it. We're going with this. I don't believe I've used it yet already. Part of me says I think I have used it already. Right, 2 please. Right, and then deploy that bad boy on the stone line. What's the problem? Missing electric tracks. Are you though? Yeah, I reckon the depot's not electrified. Thank you, important note. Yeah, is it electrified? Are you electrified? Yeah, I have a hunch you're not, which means I need to grab these, sell them. Yep. Right, bulldoze this. Thanks, and sling it back in again. Okay, right. Let's do that again. No, wait, you've just built exactly the same thing, haven't you? And that's not going to solve any of your problems. No, it's not. No, it's not. Okay, right, do it again. That is now electrified. Hooray for everybody, including myself. And then, what are we doing? Build vehicles. Yeah. Russian dance music. Yeah. Buy it. Yeah. Buy another one. Yeah. Wang it up the stone line. The stone line. Yeah, see, no warnings this time around. Not for you. Right, I'm going to hit the turbos. I know we try and view these in. Oh, you look, Joe, just look, would you? Look at that. That's a nice bit of east meets west going on there. Now these should. They've got the potential to do quite well, because there are 3 decent-sized towns that they're going to be visiting. The second one's staying in there because it's waiting for that first one to reach the station before the path becomes clear. There you go. And the reason that I'm sat here is very simply to do that. Bye-bye. And then this. Right. There you go. Good. Okay. And it's like it never happened. I didn't make anything ugly at all. Good. Okay. Right. That is going to pretty much wrap us up. It's okay. Don't worry. I'm taking us for a ride on the train. Hold on. Slow it down. There you go. Yeah. Let's have some jolly enjoyment, and that will be most splendid. I've been Colonel Failure. In the next one, we return to the main line, the mainland, I should say. This signal should be red. It is red. Why is the red at the bottom? It's just how it rolls. Okay. Yeah, we're going to return to the mainland and continue work there. And I've got a bit more decorating to do, but we'll get it all going. Thanks very much for watching. I'll catch up with you next time. Subscribe if you feel like doing so, and then you'll be able to see the next thing. There's a train coming towards us. That'll be dramatic for our end piece today, won't it? Yeah, it will. Cheerio. That's come up quite nicely. Now, I've done one of my my fly past camera before and after bits there that I was planning to slot in today, but today's run's long enough already. You've had enough. So I'll show you that at the start of the next one. All right, it'll be okay. No, you'll be fine. Don't worry, it'll be okay. Yeah. So next time around, we return to the mainland, and yeah, I'm not wholly certain what I'm going to do with it. What I do know is that we still haven't got any oil industry going on. We don't have any tree-based business happening either. I need plastic, I need oil, I need fuel, I need planks in order to get stuff motivated, to get it moving, to get happenings occurring. Yeah, so I think we need one more port somewhere, not sure where yet, and several of you have asked previously if I'm going to do some kind of main junction hub station port combined big fandango. Yeah, I think I might do. I don't know if it will contain absolutely everything or not, but it will certainly contain 2, 3, 4, 5 different materials resources that all need transporting elsewhere. So there's a lot to do, but we've got a bunch of episodes left to play with in order to get that to happen, and we'll get that to happen. There you go. It's all just hype, friends. And this is just marketing. This is me attempting to cause a salivatory effect about what could possibly occur in the next episode. I'm buying your future interest through a little bit of post-show blarney, and we'll see how that pans out, shall we? Because you'll either turn up for the next one or you won't. And if you don't, then the post-show blarney was largely a waste of time, wasn't it? Speaking of which, clock's still ticking. Right, I'm going to push off. Okay, right, good. There you go. Forget everything I said in the last 30 or so seconds. That's seeing behind the curtain. You don't need to do that. No.